Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Kate. Hi, Denise. Hi, Theron. Good morning, Ricky. Hi, Valerie. Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Kinnykins. Happy and I love spirit. Excellent handles this morning. Well, I've already had my cup of coffee, so I'm drinking water now. Janelle, good morning. Energy of collective is a 2 today, and I'm here trying to hold my shit together. A 2? Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Christine. Hi, Michelle. Yeah, it has been, I mean, very, very epic. It's been a very epic energy type of week. I am exhausted. Have you guys really gotten any decent sleep? I feel like even when I'm um, sleeping, I am exhausted from all of the dream stuff. And it's just, it's not my favorite. It's really not my favorite. Uh, the collective energy is really affecting me, and everybody else's like ridiculous behavior is really affecting me. So, you know, it's a lot this week. It is a lot this week. Um, so I this week during one of those evenings where like I couldn't fall asleep, I got a really strong nudge to like go back and watch all of the split TikToks that I did back in 2021. And when I did that, I made another split video and got specific dates, which shouldn't be like shocking that we would be having another split energy coming up, but it's the biggest one yet, guys, and we're already feeling it. And if you're familiar with like the concept of split, it's really just split consciousness, right? It's energy. But people are like really far apart now to the point where it really does feel like you're trying to communicate with somebody who doesn't even speak a human language, let alone like the language that you speak. You know what I mean? And um that is exhausting to deal with, especially when some of those people are people who you used to be able to communicate with fairly easily. You know what I'm saying? So um, it's a lot. And I will tell you some of the things I've been doing to keep myself from like completely losing my mind. I mean, it's working a little, but when I find myself talking to literally mostly anybody these days, arguments are so quick to happen. Like it's like 0 to 60 with arguments, not on my end necessarily. Like just everything is agitating for people right now. Even just normal words. And I find myself realizing that and then just kind of being like, yeah, you're right. Thank you so much for sharing your opinion and just kind of backing myself out of it because there's nothing to be gained right now from many conversations. It's just wild. But at the same time, as you are probably noticing people dropping out of your life, you may also be noticing some people dropping back in that had dropped out before. Have you been noticing that too? I don't know that I don't have a lot of bandwidth for peopling in person right now. That is the truth. Like if I'm not 100% certain about where you are at energetically, like you probably won't see me right now because I just can't take it. Like I can't take it. It's too much. So much is happening so fast. So if you're feeling that way, you aren't alone and you're not crazy. I feel pretty confident in telling you that. It's not a, it's the whole world has gone bananas. And we're just kind of watching it like, really? Really? But it's gonna keep going and we're gonna cycle through this and it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be fine. It's actually gonna be more than fine. And so remind yourself about that because we're still in the super big, this super big push of energy. It's magic energy, right? Like where it's the dreams made reality energy. And it's overwhelming because again, that concept of holding two very different things at the same time is very much in play right now. So it's like holding like all of the your wildest dreams coming true while also holding like the literal like fall of an empire at the same time and all of that which entails. And a lot of what's happening for people is that song. This is gonna I'm taking you on a ride, but see if you can stick with me. You know that song, Losing My Religion by REM? That's been like looping in my head lately. And I've been thinking about that as a concept because religion is such a support for so many people, right? It's such a it's something that people lay their entire lives upon and form their everything around, right? It's the scaffolding that holds them up. What happens when some event occurs that makes you like lose your religion, so to speak, right? That's a major existential crisis, okay? And that is what is happening, and that's what I feel is going to happen actually towards the end of March in a much more tangible way, but that's what is happening. People are losing their religion. And what is there if you don't have that, right? What is there if everything you thought was true is no longer true? It's very intense and wild and dangerous because people who have no support anymore and are spinning out of control, they bump into things a lot. They cause a lot of chaos. So it's chaos energy. We have to let that kind of spin to a level that we can then interact with, and it's not there yet. It hasn't even reached the high pitch yet, but that's what I feel is happening. It's just like this total collapse of like a societal scaffolding in all ways. And we've been wanting this to happen. So we're sitting here like, yeah, this does need to happen because this shit's crazy. But it's not a good feeling for a lot of people right now. It's very destabilizing. So you're okay. I just want to remind you that you really are. It's just we've got to ride through this energy. So while all of this is happening, right? Don't forget your own stuff. Like if people ask like, okay, well, what am I supposed to do? How do I help? How do I assist the collective? Help yourself. We need to focus here. We need to focus on our heart space. We need to focus on our own healing. We need to focus on our energy. Like this is where your focus needs to be right now. You can't extend outside of yourself and fix the collective. But imagine everybody turning inward and healing their own hearts and healing their own traumas and really taking accountability for yourself. That makes a massive collective ripple. And that's our focus right now through this chaos is to kind of return back to center and remember you're okay. You really are. You really are. And you've been doing so much intense, serious soul searching in your life the past few years. And look where you've come. Like look where you've arrived. It's amazing. So yes, the collective is literally going insane, and we need to let that happen. Sometimes rock bottom is where you need to hit in order to start to rise back up, and that is tower energy, and it is okay. It's very natural. Let's get into the cards, though, right? Let's get into them. And I'll give you our three things for today. If you're new, welcome. Good morning. It is quite a time. Pisces season is just the most Piscean ever, but I don't know, in some profound ways. But anyway, we're going to pull some cards. I'm going to give you three things. You choose which one feels most aligned with you this morning. You can pick more than one, of course. And I will pull from this deck. This is the Wisdom of Avalon Oracle by Colette Baron Reid. I'll get you some insight. Get you some insight. Okay, cards know nothing, but demons do. Okay. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us this morning. We're actually going to do the same thing we did last time. I'm going to show you three things. Hold on, I got to grab this one here. Ah! Okay. All right. You ready? So you're choosing from these three things. Just take a second, look at them. Okay. So we've got peony is the first one, like last time. We got peony. We've got Ganesha, remover of obstacles, and we've got this dragon. So what are you feeling most drawn to this morning? Peony, Ganesh, or the dragon? Drop your selections in the comments, and I will start shuffling. You've got peony, the rose quartz skull, Ganesha, the thick booty Ganesha, and the dragon. Ooh, look at all y'all picking the dragon, right? All right. And then you always pick all three. You always pick all three. Hello, good morning. If I miss saying hello to you, hello. Glad you're here. All right, we shuffling. I did say thick booty Ganesh. Did you not see that last time? Look at him. Right? You know, I don't typically look at the back of my figures, but I have more than one figurine that has a thick booty. So, I mean, I just thought you should know. And that's good. Remover of obstacles, thick booty. Okay? So again, you're choosing from peony, Ganesh, or the dragon. Hi, Tiffany. The dragon. Ooh. Okay, let's get to it. Oh my God, Lord of the double cheeks. Oh my goodness. But with all respect. Okay. All right. Yeah, and if none of them are really calling out to you, just listen to everything and pick what feels good to you, leave what doesn't. You know what I'm saying? All right. Peonies first, ladies first. All right. All right. Tell me when you're ready. Again, last call on this one. You're choosing from peony, Ganesha, and the dragon. Okay? All right, everybody's ready. Let's go. All right, so first of all, you'll have to remind me if last time we did this, which would have been Monday. What day is it? Yes, Monday. Did peony also come with these two? Because we've got the water fairy and the earth fairy. I know these two popped up last time. But anyway, here they are again. So you've got the water fairy and the earth fairy. Cool. Look who else is here. Oh, it's the dragon. This cracked me up because this is peony, but obviously feeling the dragon energy today. Okay, so let's get to your story. So if you chose peony, this is the message. Was it? Okay, Christine says yes. So clearly peony is trying to drive a point home. We'll see what it is today. All right, so water energy and earth energy. Okay. Normally we would talk about, if we pick the water fairy and the earth fairy, we're talking about your feelings and emotions and then your physical body. We are talking about that this morning, but we're talking about the connection between the two. And I believe I want to say last time we talked about the connection between the two as well, as far as them communicating. This is going to take it a step further. If you are a person who in your life, you have relegated your emotions as a liability, as something that you need to fix, as something that you need to handle, as something that you need to like just kind of suppress or ignore or repress or whatever. Um, every time you get an emotion and you feel like, oof, that's annoying, it's getting in my way, or I shouldn't feel that way, let me like push it aside, that's you ignoring what your body and your energy is telling you, right? So what does that do? It creates that disconnect between you and you, right? Different parts of yourself. And right now we're moving to bridge that disconnect between ourselves and ourselves. Your body is not this inanimate stupid thing you're inside. Your body is magic and it is deeply connected to every part of you. And when you ignore your feelings, where do you think that energy goes? It gets stuck somewhere in your body. Anytime we do meditations, like in workshop or anything like that, and I tell you guys, hey, close your eyes and use a hand and show me where you have a feeling stuck in your body. Everybody can find it like immediately. All you have to do is take one moment and quiet down to find where in your body you have energy stuck and feeling stuck, right? When you feel happy, where do you feel that in your body? When you're scared, where do you feel that in your body? You're feeling it in your body. Hi, my friends, these things are connected, right? So, Peony's message this morning is about honoring the connection between your feelings and your body and listening. We are in Pisces season. And while I know there is a lot of discussion about Pisces being a very emotional energy, that's not really how I perceive it at this point. Pisces energy is the end, it's the 12th house, right? So it contains elements of all of the other energies. I always say to like my Pisces friends, like, you're supposed to be in a temple somewhere with all of your earthly needs taken care of so you can just channel in the info for the rest of us, because Piscean energy is so connected to that flood of consciousness that is the essence of humanity in all of its different stages. So it can be overwhelming to translate, right? But that doesn't mean that it is a liability. It is a superpower. Okay. So connecting those two is going to be unlocking a major superpower for you, because here's the power. Power comes when you don't suppress your emotions, but you hold space for them and you honor them and you understand that it is a communication. Like we like humans all have emotions. Like I don't know what is going on with the emotion thing, but I grew up that way too, where it's like don't show your emotions, like don't cry, you're so strong if you don't cry. But it's natural to cry. It's natural to have feelings. All humans have feelings. Like it's just crazy to me at this point that we're so disconnected from that. But for you today, my friends who chose peony, the mind emotional connection is going to be an unlocking for you of a major energetic boost, major supercharge. Okay, that's where the dragon comes in. Okay, so that's your peony message. We're going to shuffle now for thick booty Ganesha. If you're just joining us, good morning. I'll put some of these waves for y'all. If you're just joining us, you have Ganesh to choose from or the dragon. Okay. And as always, if you missed anything, you can watch the replay on IGTV or YouTube. It'll be there as soon as I sign off this morning. All right, let's do some shufflies. I'm kind of sniffly this morning. I need to start taking my allergy medicine more frequently. Because now the crocuses are out, so the weather better behave itself. There's one. Hi, Maya. 2, 3. These are interesting this morning. I'm here for it. Okay, tell me when you're ready. This will be your Ganesh. It's the Ganesh one. I'm sorry. I am being rather dramatic with my faces this morning, um, because I'm sleepy. I'm overtired, but that's all right. Okay, everybody's ready. All right, so this is your Ganesh one. Okay, so we've got another fairy. It's a wind fairy. Cool. We've got a bard. It's the bard. Okay, we get this not infrequently, right? Do you usually get this one? And then we have the death card. Yeah. Woohoo. What's dying? An old part of your life. Okay, let's get to it. So we're gonna start with the wind fairy and the bard. Now, if you've gotten the bard before, you hear we talk about the bard. It's all about your story, sharing your story. Sometimes it's really specific, where it's like you should write a book. You should write your book. Write your book. But not today. Sort of, not today. This is about the story that you've created in your head that is narrating your every waking moment, like right now. Like, hey, just right this second. What's your story right now? Are you, staring at your phone, looking at me, thinking about my hair? Like, what's your story? What is it? Because your thoughts are writing your story right now. Some of us really love to jump ahead when we're writing our story. Some of us really love to like lay back into the past when we're writing our story. But very few of us have a consciousness in the present moment about writing our story, right? It's always easier to jump into the future or fall back into the past when writing your story. But yeah, Tiffany, because I went to Dana, okay, meta Dana, and like, yeah. So your story, your consciousness in this present moment, this is what you're being asked to really lock into. You spent plenty of time on jumping into future iterations of story. And typically, when we talk about manifesting, we do tend to jump into the future because we're like, this is what I want, right? And when you say, this is what I want, it's obviously not right in this moment, right? Okay. And then we think about what was, what our experiences have been. And that's fine. Those elements are really important for an entertaining story. But for today, for our purposes, for the bard and the wind fairies purposes, drop yourself into the present consciousness of your being. You're at the typewriter, so to speak. You're writing it right now. And you're experiencing it right now. This is command central, guys. And yeah, things are crazy all around. What's going to be your take on it? Because your take on it is going to be different from everybody else's, and it is going to dictate what your experience is. And nobody else gets to do that. Just FYI. We do give a lot of power to other people to do this, but you don't have to. So today, my Ganesh people, you're being asked to drop into the present consciousness of the narration process. Okay? What's your story right now in this moment? Can you be there in that present space? Because death is here, and this is so great. Let's talk about it. So there's two cards in this deck. You've got the death card, and you've got that birth and rebirth card. They are different. The birth and rebirth card is about an energy that goes through a metamorphosis and is repurposed in your life, right? So it's a transition. It's the energy isn't leaving, it's just turning into a different form for some different lesson for you, right? The death card comes when you've had enough of those, when you've totally used up this energy for you. Okay? There's nothing else for you in this energy, and it is dead for you. Energy doesn't die, okay? So this is a metaphorical death. Energy just needs to be released to go do something else. It is dead for all intents and purposes for you. So what is dead for you right now that you are trying to still use with I don't know, out of habit? Like what's dead? What energy are you still in that is like dead? Or what energy are you seeing that is like we're done and you're getting ready to kind of move out of it, right? How does this connect to the bard? Well, it's time for you to write that ending, friend. Okay? And write it with much flourish, much drama if needed, or let it be two words that create a sentence. No, thank you. You know, that's three words, whatever. No thanks. Either way, something is done and it is just done. And when something is done, just remember you get to retain all of the memories, all of the things, all of the lessons. You get to, tap back into that should you need to. Like it's not gone from your life in that way, but it is gone from the physicality of your life and the energy of your life in that way. If you are holding on to a dead thing, it is going to rot and is going to stink up everything, and you won't be able to enjoy the freshness of this springtime, because March is that month we've been talking about. All the new things are starting. It is go time. The energy is right. Okay. Let it go. Write the ending it needs with respect and dignity, or not. Your story. But, like, you know what I'm saying? It's done. Okay. So that is your Ganesh. And the last one is going to be your dragon. I'm going to shuffle really good. Really shuffle it. Woohoo! Yeah, let it go. The other thing I've been doing that's been really helping me is like, do you know how you say those things in your head that you're like, I'm not a person who does this? Like, I think it's amazingly helpful when people journal and write things down, but I'm like, I'm a person who can't do that. I always say that. And this year, I started in January. I'm like, listen, bitch, like just sit down every night if you can and just write a few damn words, because also my memory is terrible. So I forget things. So it's like, just write down like, whatever nonsense happened that day. So you can kind of look back and be like, yes, that's the day that you said this to me and yada, yada, yada. So I started doing that and like having that record, and it's March now. And I've been using it to put my little wishes for the next day. Like, oh, I'd like this for this to happen. Thank you. Like putting in my orders. And hi, that has really actually worked, because it's something that I decided wasn't going to work. And so once I started to do it, it worked extra well. So just kind of know your quirks. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm an asshole like that. And that's how it works for me. But changing up the way that you work with the energy is really what I'm talking about in this energy, because it'll be fresh. It'll pack a punch. Anything you do right now is going to be good. It's going to be good. No limits, except the ones you create as you're writing your story. Okay. All right. Here comes this dragon. You ready for this? I'm ready. Just go ahead and like. The drama is earned for this one. Now, I just want you to tell me that you saw me shuffle. I always put one card in the front, like after I do the three, put one in the front, one in the middle, one in the back, and then I shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. You see me do it, and then I do boop, 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 right? All right, dragon friends. You ready? How many of you picked Ganesh and the dragon? That's what I really want to know. You let me know. I'll take a sip of my water. Few people. That's funny to me. So here's your extra dose of whatever this is about to be, right? Okay. So, in case you forgot, here's the death card and here's the bard card. The bard is about writing your story. This is the end of an energy. Now, there's a little bit of a different twist to the dragon version, excuse me, of the story. And if you chose Ganesh, think of it as like the next part to it. It's kind of like a leveling up of it. Now, ooh, hold on. Okay. It's the death of your studious lack of belief in yourself. This is all about you. This is all about you and the stories that you've created that hold you back, keep you small, label you, put you in a box, quiet you down, put you in the corner. Whatever metaphor you want to use. That's what this is about. It's the death of that energy. Okay? Sometimes, no. Tell me if this hits for you. Since you were really young, you felt kind of old. It's like you popped up, you were a kid, and there were moments in your childhood where it felt like you were observing humanity, and it was very sobering for you. It may have been hard for you to play sometimes like the other kids and like just like let loose and like be silly because you were like, this feels really serious, everybody. Like there was just such a gravity to everything. And the grown-ups around you were like, just whatever. Like they didn't have the answers. They didn't, and if anything, they kind of stifled you and tried to um just make you normal. Try to make you more normal, right? And you wanted to be normal, whatever the fuck that means, because you just wanted to be accepted and loved by the grown-ups around you. And so you tried really hard. And what did that do? It put a whole lot of restriction upon you from you. Okay? Because every time an authority figure criticized you in any way, shape, or form, you embedded that within your being. And then that narration is on a loop, right? So you had all these things inside of you that were making you smaller, making you more quiet, and making you doubt yourself, making you doubt the what you see, what you feel, the reality around you, because you're like, I'm clearly the only one who feels this way, and I'm weird. There's something wrong with me. Your spiritual journey is the undoing of that, right? It's the taking out of those voices that they weren't supposed to be there in the first place. They're not from you. You didn't endorse them. You didn't sign off on them. Think about how many times as a grown up you've just popped off and said some stupid shit because you didn't have your coffee yet, you were tired, someone else was aggravating you, you were having a fight with, like, who knows, right? But imagine whatever you said in that pop off moment goes into somebody else's head and lives there for the rest of their life. Something that you didn't even think about and is now all they think about and is like developing personality traits around. Okay. That's what happens to kids every day. Like, right? Good news is this is the work you've been doing, is taking out those things, taking out those things. And this, the dragon card, is talking about the death of that self-doubt, the death of that narrative that says you're not normal, you're not good enough. You need to be smaller. You need to make other people comfortable. Your big energy is here to support other people's energy. Whatever, however that translates, right? Your worth is determined by other people's desire to be around you or that they find you useful. All of those things. It's the death of it. And it has caused a lot of problems, hasn't it? Because as you have risen up into your own self-confidence and sovereignty, the people who have been using your energy for free without giving anything back are mad because they're like, how can you be so selfish? Take our supply away. And you're like, whoa, what? Right? So it's the death of that narrative. And what happens after the death of that narrative? The high priestess is rising. And this is you. And it always has been, right? This isn't you turning into something. This is just you remembering who you are. And this mass remembering that we're having right now is so terrifying to people who have been controlling us and feeding off of our insecurities, right? Because when you think highly of yourself, it's very difficult to let other people treat you poorly, right? Because you're like, why? I'm awesome. Why would you treat me this way? Right? When you don't think highly of yourself, you accept abuse from other people because you're like, that tracks. And let me see what I can do to make it up to everybody, you know? So the death of this narrative is really the birth of the you that's been here the whole time. Okay. You without all of that inner monologue that you did not sign off on. And it is a freedom and it is a power and it is a magic that feels natural to you and sometimes terrifying, but is going to be the thing collectively as we all tap into our own individual high priestess energy. It is going to be the thing that, saves the world because imagine every single person, just imagine, right? If every single person, or like 90% of people, 70% of people, whatever, a large amount of people are tapped into their own high priestess energy, we're good, okay? Because happy, present, confident, strong, capable, and self loving individuals don't destroy the earth or other people. So, again, reiterating, the work is here. This is where we are. This is the most important thing. So, that is your dragon pull for this morning. Um, wow. Lots of big energy for today. It's a lot. I'm feeling it. But hey, I hope you have a really great weekend. Remember, you're writing your story. Remember to use your words when needed. And also, it is okay right now in this energy to be like, yeah, I'm not going out to this place because I know your energy is stanky. It's okay to stay in with a book. Like, protect your energy. Okay. It's messy out there. Drink your water where you can. Okay. And listen to your body. If it needs rest, try to give it rest. I know a lot of us are not getting good sleep right now, and I don't know about you, but that makes me extra cranky and reactive. So just take care of you, shore up those boundaries. I will see you on Monday, 8:30 a.m. I love you. Thank you for being here and lending me your amazing energy to support us through these readings. And yeah, goodbye. Goodbye, YouTube.